Well, so I step away for a couple of days and then everything just falls apart. Okay, maybe a bit more than a couple of days. Well, I assume anyone who's watching this video probably is already aware of the circumstances, but it has come out that Anita Sarkeesian is a consultant for Spire 2. Now, what I haven't been able to find out exactly is how much she consulted with, but I believe for most people, even if all she did was give a thumbs up and did nothing, that's all she did. She's like, yep, looks good, give me a paycheck. People would still be very upset with that, and would already be too much for most people, and I can agree with that. Because I'm not going to go into the whole thing with Gamergate, Anita, Feminist Frequency. There's just a lot there, and if you don't know any of this stuff, then you have lots of homework to do, I guess. Although if I had to sum it up, it just goes down to the culture war. And people in general want things to be decided what's good or fun for a game decided organically, i.e. what games sell, what does well, what's fun. They'd rather not be told from top down that this is bad or this is negative or this causes X, Y, Z, etc., etc. But I can agree with that because I rather play games and support games that are fun and don't have some overt messaging to push to me. And by overt messaging, I'm not even talking like here's like a political thing like a 1984 game or some like subtext.
I know writers who use subtext and they're all cowards.
Because if done right, that can be enjoyable. There's discussions to be had. But there's times you can tell it's more pandering and more just, this is the developer's worldview. Here you go. Or like, I need to work on my, what's the name of that score? But I need to improve my ESG score so that I can get more investors. That's the little summary of all this and why people don't want Anita as a consultant and why it leaves a bitter aftertaste in their mouth after already buying the game and being unaware of this beforehand. Also, anything you look up, you pretty much can swap out Anita with Sweet Baby Inc. and you're going to get the same exact people on the same exact sides with the same issues. There'll be slight nuances, I'm sure, but at the end of the day, you can just interchange those. Although, I'm not sure which one would cause a bigger strife among the people. Because Sweet Baby Inc. is a bit more topical, and it was a big thing like a year or two ago, but Anita's been around for a very long time. Alright, and then if you come down and see the reviews, you can see from about a month ago the review bombing in China over the latest patch, and I did the first 4 days, and that is roughly 18,800 negative reviews, which I would assume most are from China. I mean, you can see the negative reviews before that date. It's like, what, 100? Not even 100 per day? Very small amounts. You would get roughly the same amount each day, not because of the patch. There could be some people who didn't like the patch and are not Chinese and then left a negative review, of course, but you can see a huge amount is going to be from China. In fact, if you go to language and you do simplified Chinese and traditional, it's about 77,000, and you can see it's mostly negative. So it's 77,000 out of 19, almost 1,900. We're talking, what is that? More than 1 in 4. But if you go to where we are, and I'm going to assume May 6th, nothing to do with it, possibly. Counted 4 days. May 10th isn't over. Of course, it's May 10th right now. But I assume it's not going to go past 2536 or would be roughly equal. But that brings us to almost 12,000 this first 4 days. Of course, you could get more negative reviews overall in a bigger time span. But you can see it's already starting to peter off slightly. So you'll probably get a similar trajectory as you did with these reviews about a month ago. And if you have almost 1,200, and if you go down to English, about 5,500, we're talking about 1 in 5, a little bit higher. So we get roughly 21.7%, so a little bit more than 1 in 4 people. Assuming this is all from English, I mean, you can see there's a steady amount of negative reviews, but it's hard to know what the exact numbers, because some of this is the review bombing already happening from China. I did notice, as I was filming this, recording, we have a new tag on this game. LGBTQ+. Oh, where's the IA, huh? Tickets. Anyway, just wanted to show a little bit of numbers here. It's hard for me to get the exact numbers. Maybe there's a few sites that would go into this a little bit better. I mean, if you go to the player numbers right now, yeah, the peak is crazy. Within a 24-hour peak, and again, this has been going on for about 3-ish days, it doesn't really seem like it has affected numbers that much. Of course, over a month, you see a steady decline, but it's almost every game. But this is not even like a, a live service game. So it doesn't really matter the numbers. You make a sale and that's it. They don't need to continue to make sales or cosmetics or have a future plan of selling DLCs. Of course, I assume they would want to sell more copies when the game releases. So my take on this is, assuming everyone can get a refund, not enough people are going to get refunds to really leave a dent in the wallets of Megacrit. And for whoever made the decision, whether it's someone really higher up or maybe it's someone who was able to get a consultant in but didn't really explain who it was and people didn't research, so maybe whoever made the decision to consult Anita, I would assume, knows that she's a little volatile, but either A, got to improve the ESG score, or B, you agree with what she's saying and it's just the cost of doing business and not everyone will find out about it, at least not in time. But if you want to try to get a refund and then never play the game, or you just don't buy the game, or you pirate the game as well, I mean, more power to you. Do what you like. I ain't your dad. I'm leaving open the possibility I could make content still about Slay Spire 2, because I do enjoy the game still. It is a very good game. And if I do so, I do not want to cross the line between pirated content and making content on YouTube. And if you got a problem with me not getting a refund and still supporting the game financially, I mean, you can leave a mean comments. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. But I will say to generally not harass people who make content like that's their livelihood, is making content with Slay Spire or deck builders or whatever it is. Although the situation isn't exactly the same, it's just a little too close to that, I guess it's a year or two ago, that Harry Potter game that some streamers are getting shit for because the game is Harry Potter. So J.K. Rowling benefits from the IP being used, but that was the only input into the game. Again, the situations are different, but I still don't like the concept of harassing someone because they choose to play a game. Again, if you're leaving me a mean comment for the algorithm, I mean, I'll take it. It's all right. I'm joking. But generally, I mean, just don't harass people. Like, if you don't respect someone for playing the game, or like you don't respect me for not refunding it, and you choose not to watch any more of the content, I mean, that's obviously your prerogative. You do what you want. All right, and that's going to do it for this video. I'm not sure how many of these talking videos I'll do. I have a few ideas in mind, but I don't know how many like topical videos, which I assume topical videos will do a little bit better. But I was already doing content with Slay Spire, so it felt very natural to just talk about the game as it gets review bombed. But hope you guys have a good day, good night, and all of that jazz. Peace.